2005-2006, sent 3 white papers to George W. Bush declaring in detail systematic violations of our Constitution. For example, snooping on millions of Americans or lots of Americans without judicial approval. Now, that means that the criticism of the Bush administration for violating our Constitution has gone mainstream in the legal profession. What we need to do first is demand that the impeachment authority be exercised by Congress. Pelosi and Reid, when they took over the Congress in 2007, took impeachment off the table. The way to reinstate a tradition of constitutionalism is to punish the president and vice president for 5 systemic high crimes and misdemeanors: criminal war in Iraq, systemic torture, incarceration without charges, denial of habeas corpus, spying on Americans without judicial approval, and the signing statements that you just mentioned. The second is the people of this country, zeroing in on their 2 senators and representatives, have got to get statutes enacted that make these constitutional provisions enforceable in courts of law by citizens. Right now, citizens have no standing to sue. There's no enforceability. You're more likely to get penalized if you violate a traffic ordinance than if a politician violates the Constitution. And then third, and very important, is that we need in this country to have direct democracy. If the Congress does not enforce the Constitution, we have to have procedures for binding national referendums with access to the mass media. And I also have one quick bill we're going to talk about in a few days. Anytime Congress and the White House engulf the United States in a war abroad, all able-bodied and age-qualified children and grandchildren of all members of Congress, President and Vice President, are immediately drafted into the armed forces. That will focus them on the declaration of war authority being held in Congress under a deliberative process, not given arbitrarily to George W. Bush in defiance of our framers of our Constitution.
Let me ask